Give me 5 minutes of your time, watch this video, and let me show you how to make these delicious tortillas at home. They're much healthier with fewer ingredients, and I bet you have all the ingredients in your pantry as we speak. Hi, my name's Guiney, and I've been cooking for 25 years. Please hit that subscribe button, notification button, and or like button. If you enjoy this video, I'm making homemade tortillas that are gonna make a world of difference to your family. And if you stay to the end, I'll even show you how to make this delicious lunch in less than 3 minutes. How about that? Let's get started. It's time to get started. If you haven't seen one of these before, get your hands on one. It's a dough mixer. Makes mixing dough so much easier. I've already got 2 cups of flour in my bowl, and now it's time to add the salt and the baking powder. And do a nice good mix so that all that baking powder gets into the flour and it's not clumped up somewhere. Perfect. Now we're going to add the oil into the water, just like that. And now we're going to add the water into our dry mixture. Time to start mixing the dough. When you begin, you'll have a lot of flour everywhere, so go slowly as you incorporate the liquid into the dry mixture so that the dough or the flour doesn't go flying everywhere. And slowly you'll start to see the dough, like that. And slowly you'll start to see the dough form a ball right in the center. Continue to mix the dough for another 2 to 3 minutes and you should have a pretty good rough big dough ball right in the center. 2 to 3 minutes later, you can see it's turned into one big ball and it's right in the middle. It's time to start kneading it by hand on the surface of your counter. Before you start kneading your dough, put a little bit of flour onto your surface and now pull the dough right onto that flour. And it might be a little bit sticky because it still needs to be worked through. And if you feel like it's really sticky, just add a little bit more flour and continue to knead for another minute or 2. An easy way to tell that you're finished kneading is that your dough isn't sticky anymore. And as you can see, the dough is not sticking to my fingers and it's pushing back a little bit. So I know that I've done enough kneading with this dough and it's time to divide it up. So I get my dough into about this size, then I cut it into half. It's easier to work with. I move half aside, a little more flour. I'm going to roll this into a long shaped rope. And then I'm going to divide the rope into a little bit smaller than a golf ball size piece of dough. So I've got about that much, and I'm looking for that much dough. Part of the reason that I really like making my own tortillas are that I don't put ingredients that I can't pronounce into the recipe, and also I can make them a lot thinner than the ones that we get at the store. They're also very much budget friendly. When you're making them at home, they work out to $1 for this entire recipe. And if you bought them at the store, it'd be $5 to $8. A quick way of turning these into basil tortillas is to take your ball, dip it into the basil. You only need about that much. And now roll it really well in your hands. And it's incorporated right into the dough. When you roll this out, you've got a little basil tortilla. So I'm going to start off by taking my ball of dough and dipping it into the flour and pat it down with the palm of my hand just so that it pats down evenly. Move that away, put a little bit of flour on your working surface, drench it again, and we start rolling. And don't worry about your shape, you can adjust it at the end. I do a rocking motion so I get it turning at the same time. Rather than pulling out your measuring tape, I just keep a breakfast plate handy and then I measure it out against the breakfast plate. If it's a little bit smaller than the breakfast plate, I think it's the perfect size for a soft tortilla. If you have a grill, it is a great option simply because you can put more than one at a time. If not, you can use a fry pan or a crepe pan right on the stove, no problem. But as you can see on a grill, I can usually fit about 3 of them right on top. So I'm going to let that sit for about 30 to 45 seconds and then it's time to flip. It's time to flip them over. You may have to flip them over one more time so that you get a nice toasty brown on both sides. Time to flip them over one more more time, and you can see the brown bits on this side. We're just going to brown it up on the other side for another 20 seconds or so. And these three are done. Don't overdo them because you don't want them crunchy and hard, but you can see there are a few brown bits and you know that this is completely done. With a handful of pantry ingredients, we have 16 beautiful tortilla shells that were done in about 20 minutes. And look how soft that is. That's just perfect. And you can put these in the freezer. If you don't finish all of them, you can use them for later. But if you have 2 more minutes that you can give me, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious lunch in less than 1 more minute. On video production days, there isn't always a lot of time for lunch. So here's one of my quick 2 or 3 minute lunches. I take one sausage, take it out of the casing, heat up a saute pan, and put your sausage right into the pan. On the days that we have somebody who's vegetarian, I put chickpeas in the pan instead. Let that saute until the meat is 3/4 of the way done. Now that my sausage is halfway done, I'm going to take a piece of cheese, put it right down the middle, and I put all of the meat right into the center. Put my lid on and let it go for another 30 seconds. Time to put it right on your tortilla, just like that. Garnish with a few pieces of parsley, and it's ready. With groceries becoming more and more expensive, it just makes sense to make a lot of things at home that you can, as long as it's not time prohibitive and cost prohibitive, and this clearly isn't. It took 20 minutes to make 16 tortillas, no problem. And you know what? They definitely taste better. Time to taste. I love this part. So soft, so chewy, perfect texture. If you like this video, then maybe you'd like to check out this video and this video. I look forward to seeing you soon. I hope you're having an awesome day.